Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at this very nifty 2-in-1 gaming tablet from ASUS. It's ROG Flow Z13. It looks pretty cool, let's see what it's capable of. Also, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Back in 2018, I picked up Microsoft Surface Pro, and to this day it is my go-to portable laptop/tablet. It has plenty of performance for general web browsing and light productivity workloads, and it still has amazing battery life. Being small and light, it still is a great tool when I'm working on benchmarking and need extra device to note down any observations that come up, but it is limited to what else it can do. This is where ASUS ROG Flow Z13 comes in. It is essentially the same style device with much newer and higher end components, as well as dedicated graphics card. It is certainly thicker and about 500 grams heavier, so not as portable, but you do gain a whole stack more performance. First, let's check out similarities between these devices. They both feature adjustable kickstands. The one on ASUS is a bit more stiff, but has a tab for easier access, while Surface Pro has this little groove. I more often than not use my nails to open it up. Both have magnetic strip for hooking up the removable keyboard cover, and for me it seemed that the keyboard on the Surface Pro is a little easier to remove. As far as comfort goes, I feel both of them are really good. There's a little more travel distance on the Flow. And on this particular unit we noticed one little issue with the shift key. It is a little more noisy when you press on the left corner. No problem when pressed on the right. Both devices have front and back cameras, but only Surface supports Windows Hello authentication via the camera. On the Flow you can only use the fingerprint scanner, which is embedded within the power button. When it comes to the quality of cameras, my very old Surface is surprisingly still much better than the ASUS. I'm not sure what kind of excuse any company can have at this point, as this Surface is both thin and light while maintaining a decent camera. Before we jump into the specs of this ASUS machine, let's go around the device and find all the I/O. On the right side, there are power and volume buttons, USB Type-A, as well as headphone and microphone combo port. On the left, there is USB Type-C port, which is actually Thunderbolt 4 port and is also used for charging. Then a little lower, the ROG logo hides some undercover ports. I had a hard time removing the cover, but once it's off, you'll find ASUS proprietary connector for the external GPU and power. But you can actually use the USB Type-C as a standard USB 3.2 port, which includes DisplayPort output with support for G-Sync, power delivery input of 100 watts and 15 watts of power delivery output. This hidden port is a very cool addition. I wish the cover was a little easier to remove and it had some sort of an anchor so you don't lose it. On the back of the unit, behind the kickstand, there is a microSD slot for extra bit expansion and access to the NVMe drive, should you ever wish to upgrade in the future. Aesthetically, I really like the design of this unit. It has sophisticated gaming vibe about it, and a little window at the back with the dash of RGB to see the components inside is a lovely touch. ASUS is advertising this as a gaming tablet, so can the specs keep up with the statement? Flow Z13 comes with the latest 12th gen chips, the i5, i7 and i9. This particular unit is using i7-12700H, which features 6 performance and 8 efficiency cores, paired with 16GB of LPDDR5 memory running at 5200 megatransfers per second. In terms of GPU, there are 3 options. The lower end unit comes with just integrated graphics, the mid-range with RTX 3050, and the higher end has RTX 3050 Ti. Both are 40 watts with 4GB of GDDR6 memory. I like that this laptop has a built-in mux switch so you can actually get the most out of the card. One other thing that is different between these models is the displays. The highest end unit is using 4K plus panel with 60Hz refresh rate, while the other two are using 1080p plus with 120Hz refresh rate. The plus here is the 16:10 aspect ratio, so you get a few extra vertical pixels. Personally, I feel that going with a 4K display on a 13-inch laptop is a bit of a waste. I would have preferred having 1440p panel on the top unit. With all of this out of the way, let's see what performance this unit has. Do bear in mind that there are 3 main presets that ASUS provides, which can be configured to suit your requirements. There is a silent mode which turns everything down, including CPU and GPU clocks, as well as screen brightness. That result in lower thermal requirements and lower fan speeds. It also sets the FPS limit to 60. This mode is more suitable for light workloads and very light games. Then we have performance mode, which removes some of these limits and provides higher performance at the cost of power and noise. And last preset is Turbo. This pushes the maximum performance without any power or noise restrictions, as well as overclocks the GPU by 50 MHz. For the tinkerers out there, ASUS also provides manual mode, so you can tailor your own settings if you wish so. With this in mind, here are the Cinebench R20 results with all 3 modes. So you can see quiet mode is delivering about 25% lower score on the single core scores and less than half on multi-core. The difference between performance and turbo is visible but not so crazy. We also tested several games. In the lighter title Doom Eternal, we see somewhat playable frame rates while in silent mode, and we get considerable improvement when going up to the performance mode. Going up to turbo doesn't really improve the scores, and the obvious reason for that is because we are power limited on a GPU. In the much heavier title Horizon Zero Dawn, we actually tested this in all 3 modes and 3 different game settings. It is clear that silent mode is simply not enough to run this game, even with minimal settings. On the other hand, with turbo and performance, you can push past 60 average FPS in both minimum and original settings, which is pretty good for such a thin and light device. If you want to do anything heavier, I would really recommend looking at getting the external GPU, which would certainly improve this, as the CPU on this unit is actually fast enough. When it comes to battery life, for some reason our PCMark benchmark failed to complete every time we tried it, but based on other reviews, you can expect around 5 hours of actual battery life. And I have to specify here, this is without gaming of course. It's not amazing, but on the positive side, the power brick is really small and it can be used to charge your other devices, so yay to the majority of devices accepting USB Type-C power delivery. To quickly sum it up, if you're in the market for a small portable device that is also suitable for productivity as well as gaming, then Flow Z13 is certainly one to consider. I love the design of it and it has great performance to match. That being said, it does come with some drawbacks. Small size of it limits your battery life and you can't really get high powered GPU in there. Also, there are only few ports available, so you'll have to bring your dongle with you every time. If you can live with those caveats, then it is a pretty cool device to get. If you want to check out any of the items covered in the video, the links are in the description below. I hope you found this useful. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up and subscribe for more. We'll see you guys in the next one.